Hey guys, Zay here. I just wanted to throw a quick video together talking about how I reposition monsters when I'm fighting. Specifically, this comes in handy in Farakel, where it's very deadly if your monsters are not in the correct position at all times, especially in the wind and the water phase. But it's also useful in Seal too, and I'll talk about that in a little bit as well here. So a lot of people have complained to me, and I've seen in the guild chat quite a few times, that the water attack, the wave attack, the three rings that he does from the center of the map, an inner, an outer, and a middle ring, and he varies which wave will come out first. But basically, he just presents the order ahead of time, letting you know exactly where the waves will be, and you just have to make sure that you're not in that wave area when the wave is going off. So it's fairly straightforward. If you've seen it a few times, you probably know what you're supposed to do. But a lot of people have told me that they struggle with keeping their monsters inside that area. So I kind of want to show exactly what I do. It took me probably 2 or 3 hours to get to the point where I was very comfortable with this. And now it's the movement that I've learned from Farakel is become part of like just how I play the game in general when I'm manual, specifically in battlefield and things like that. If I need to get my monsters out of a bad spot or anything like that. So I thought I'd highlight it because it is very helpful. I assume that any future raids that come out will have more movement involved. Very carefully positioning creatures or requiring specific monsters for specific phases, like Farakel does. So I thought it'd be pretty useful to show. So I'm going to skip ahead to the water phase. I think it was the last phase. Right there it is. So I'm going to slow it down, and you'll see here we have a middle ring, an outer ring, and an inner ring. So this is actually the easiest one. You can start by attacking the boss and then just move to the middle and wait for the inner ring as so to complete, and then you can continue about your way. So let's look for the next ring, and I'll try to show what I'm talking about. Obviously, just to make sure that you're aware, of course, this should be the case, and you should be doing it anyway. But this F3 down here, your monsters absolutely need to be on follow for Farakel, and probably for, other raids before that anyway, like Kalia. And Naraka as well, really. It's really bad if you don't do that. But here's a good example. So right here, we have a inner ring, followed by a middle ring, followed by an outer. So as you can see here, we need to get out of the inner ring immediately. And you'll see as I'm moving away, I'm doing a few things basically at the same time. Number one, I'm spinning my camera horizontally. I'm spinning my camera basically 90 degrees away from the boss. So we'll show that again. Right now I'm basically looking at the boss pretty much. But then as I see the waves coming out, I'm actually looking towards the origin of fire there in kind. And then I move out to the middle. And what that does is it allows me to position right on the edge of the ring, and I'm basically keeping it a close eye on the ring so I can get my monsters in and out of the safe zone. Well, into the safe zone basically at all times. And you'll notice too, while I'm looking 90 degrees away from the boss, I'm issuing not only a horizontal, like a left command, I'm also using the down arrow to move down away from the boss as well. So, and that's kind of the point that I want to make in particular. In order to make sure that the monsters move at a fast rate, if you're just issuing one movement command, like you're holding down the left arrow on your keyboard to move left, or right to move right, or up to move up, or whatever. Sometimes the monsters will just take their time. They won't react immediately sometimes. Sometimes they will, and it's fine, and you're completely fine with that. But it's not guaranteed. And so when I issue these down commands as well, and then as you can see here, I'm also turning around, the monsters basically are forced to immediately reposition to where I'm looking and to where I'm going. And they'll always reposition behind you. Obviously, I'm sure you've noticed that. The monsters will try to stay behind you, basically, at all times. So, moving back and forth, even, left or right, like a wiggling motion, basically, that I do now, it will cause the monsters to reposition very quickly on top of you. And this is extremely useful for this wave phase because you have a very slim area where you can be. And you need to move fast. So, see if I can highlight maybe with another wave. Okay, that's the minion phase. Boring. Here's a wave right here. So it's middle, outer, inner. You'll notice this wiggle right here. I do it even when I don't need to. Okay, here's another wave. Here's a good one. Anytime it starts in the middle or in the inner ring, it's great. So I immediately start moving along, up and down along the ring, and it forces the monsters to come behind me into the correct zone. And then I quickly roll out into the inner ring as well. When you get good at this, you don't even need to roll, really. I just do it for safety, just to make sure, if I made like a small error or if I didn't do it fast enough, you have the roll there. But you obviously don't need to. So I think that's the last ring for the run. I hope that made it clear. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I know it's a little bit hard, but it's really a good idea to start doing Farakel as soon as you have the power to do it. Because that gear, the 6-star 2A, 2 Awakening, is great fodder, for equipment combination. And also for moving subgrades into the gear that you really want to power up. Not to mention, you can get unidentified gear drops from here and put them on the exchange shop for 145,000 Rahild a piece. So that's like over 1,000 crystals. Really important to do this as soon as you can. Not to mention, obviously, you get, sky stones, gold, all the good stuff. So let me know if you have any questions. I'll try to explain it better in chat or in a future video. And until then, have a good one.